So I was looking into the earlier screen, we were just discussing that the income stream stabilizes after a certain age, that is post retirement. Okay, even after 40, 45 also it will be like, there is no much hike possible. So that's what it says. Okay, so how is the taxation and all this? It is just a picturization. That's it. Doesn't have a great importance. Okay, so the next is benefit of planning. All these I am just rushing through because these are all just like a theory, all of us know. So it is just a glance which you can, in fact, it will be helpful for you when you present any financial plan to the client, when you discuss with the client. That's why some of the points I have put in the PPTs. So your money works more efficiently for you by utilizing the financial wonder. What it is? Can anybody tell me what is financial wonder here? We are talking about.
Compounding. Compounding.
Beautiful. You have already seen the
Yeah.
slide.
Or
No, because often heard this term, financial wonder.
yes.
Acha. That's wonderful. Okay. So the power of compounding, which is through time. So how it grows, how the money grows, that is what we are going to discuss in detail. Okay. So see the amount which is invested, how it grows in a period of time, 10 years, 20 years, and then 1,000 rupees if you invest. Instead of dollar, you can assume 1,000 at the rate of 8%. So 10 years it is only 2,159. But in 20 years it is 4,661. It has doubled. And then it is exponential. As the number of years grows, it is the money grows to the extent of exponential factor. Okay. Yeah. So even we have seen similar growth in community spreading, isn't it? Is it not true? Anybody? I'm talking about COVID. Initially it was in 100, 10s, 20s,
Yes,
100,
yes, yes.
like that. Now it is jumping every day by 5,000, 6,000. So it's something like that is the same way, like compounding how it happens, same way. Okay. So here simple interest and compound interest, the comparison they have given, how simple interest, how much it grows, whereas compound, how it grows. Okay. This is with 10% interest also they have given the comparison. Okay. So let's get into TVM. So the economic factors and other things we'll see in the next class. Lot of theory boring as we have discussed. So we'll get into the calculations. I have been talking about calculator. I think I asked the other girl, I asked her to participate in today's class also. She has found one of the calculators, but that was not exact replica of our Casio. So now the shops are open. So if you are able to get the Casio calculator, it is better. Or until you get the calculator, you can practice in Excel because I am going to teach both in Excel and calculator. Okay. So all of you can learn both because final module specifically will be using the Excel. Only the other modules will be using the calculator. Once you get into the final module, for this portfolio rebalancing and all, you require Excel. Okay. I'll just open the whiteboard so that you will be able to see the timeline and I'll be able to explain in the timeline. Okay. So, what is a timeline? Let us learn about it. Are you able to see the timeline? I mean, the whiteboard? You're seeing the whiteboard or not? Everyone? Now if I draw a line, probably you will be able to see. Are you seeing?
Not yet, ma'am. Yeah, now we can see. I can see at least, yeah.
Okay. Probably it takes a few
A while
seconds
to
to
know.
show it on screen. Yeah. This is what is timeline. Okay. So here the starting point is PV, ending point is FE. Okay. The in between period we call it as N, and then ROI, that is return on investment, is mentioned as I. Okay. So I write here rupees 1 lakh invested today grows to this after 5 years if the ROI is 8%. So this is what is the question. I think it will appear in few seconds. Are you able to see, all of you? Present value, future value, N and I have put it in the line, and I have given a question. Rupees 1 lakh invested today grows to dash after 5 years if the return of interest is 8%. Now, how do you grow this? In a normal calculation. If you want to do it in a normal calculator, how do you do this? There should be a formula, right? How do you know it is a compound interest? In our time value of money calculation, everything is compound interest only. Got it? So, what happens is we have to use a formula initially to understand, and then we'll get into the calculator. Okay? So, the formula is future value is equal to present value multiplied by 1 plus I percentage. You can use it as R percentage or I percentage. Okay? Raised to the power of n. This you can do in a regular calculator. Yes, no? So you can tell me how much it is. In a normal calculator, can you just do it, anybody? If you don't have a calculator, fine, we'll do it in Excel. Okay? But before that, let us understand how this is growing. In the first year, 1 lakh will be multiplied by 1 plus the percentage, that is 8%. Isn't it? That means the first year 1 lakh will accumulate 8% and both put together will be available in your savings account. Correct? Yeah, he has given me the answer, Venkat. But in the meantime, we'll understand year after year. So, if you just multiply, even in your mobile, you can multiply this, right? 1 plus 8% will become 1.08. Isn't it? 8% is expressed as 8 divided by 100, which is 0.08. So 1 plus 8% will be 1.08. So you just take your mobile calculator and then calculate this. That is 1 lakh multiplied by 1.08, which is 1 lakh 8,000. This is very simple. First year all of us know. The next year is 1 lakh 8,000. Have I put one extra zero? Yes. Multiplied by 1 plus 8% again. So here what we are doing is, we are not taking 8% on the original investment which is the principal, but we are taking 8% on the accumulated interest also, right? So this will be equal to 1,16,640. So like that, every year you can just multiply one by one, okay, for 5 years, and then finally you will arrive at the answer. Just now as he told me, what is the answer, Venkat? He told me after 5 years it will be equal to 146,932. You can just leave the decimals, okay? So what is the future value and present value here? We started with 1 lakh, that was the present value. Then every year it has gone. At the end of the period, it is 1,46,932. So 146,932 is our future value. So when you draw the timeline, what you need to do is just put the PV as PV is equal to 1 lakh. Okay. Then N is equal to 5. I is equal to 8%. And then your future value is equal to 146,932. Okay. So this is how you have to create the timeline. Okay. So it's easy to understand that 1 lakh has grown in 5 years to 1,46,932. Any doubt in this? Why we are using like this? If you use it in the formula, it is very simple. Formula is also simple. Is equal to 1 lakh multiplied by 1 plus 8% raised to the power of 5. This is what is a formula. Will you be able to do it in your calculator using this? You know how to put the raised to power? I am talking about a normal calculator. I am not talking about financial calculator. If you know the formula, you can do it in the normal calculator. Actually, there is number 6. Shift and 6, if you press, it will take you to the raised to the power. Otherwise, we will learn in the Excel. No problem, because most of you do not have the calculator. Let us learn in the Excel. I'll just open an Excel file. Yes, it is opening the Excel. Just a minute. Yeah. These are all the questions which we will be discussing. Okay. In the meantime, in the Excel, how do you do the calculations? We will do in the new page. Okay. Yeah. Now you are also able to see the Excel. So I'll just put the same question over here. So 1 lakh is invested. 1 lakh invested today grows to dash after 5 years if ROI is 8%. When I just give 8%, still we are taking what? We are taking it as 8% per annum. So initially we have to understand two factors. What are the two factors? One is rate given is per annum. These are all default factors. You should remember that. Okay. Next is compounding is annual. These two factors are considered to be the default factors which you need to understand. Whenever they just give 8%, you'll be thinking, why can't I take 8% as quarterly rate, monthly rate? It is not like that. Whenever they give a percentage without any specification, that means it is a annual percentage rate. And then whenever they give any compounding without any specification, that means it is a annual compounding. Okay, these are all the things which you need to remember. Now, how do we grow this for 5 years? In Excel, it is easy. Just give equal to FV. Okay, in any one column equal to FV. FV means future value. What is future value? It is the value at the end of the period under consideration. These are the wordings we use. FV is the future value or the value at the end of the period under consideration. So what is the period under consideration? It is 5 years. So at the end of 5 years, how much the investment has grown to? That is what is called as future value. Now, I have opened the bracket here equal to FE, open the bracket. Now, you are able to see what is appearing beneath, right? It is asking you to enter the rate. What is rate? Rate is the returns, right? So, I am just giving 8%, comma. Then, it is asking me to give NPER. N period is number of time periods. What is the meaning of time periods? Here we give the number of years. Later the time period might be different. Number of months, number of quarters, all that. Initially we are going to give only number of years. Okay. So I'll give 5 years. Come. PMT. What is PMT? PMT is called as periodical cash flows, or we call it as payment. Here there is no periodical cash flow. What is periodical cash flow? Every year, every month, each month, like your EMI, like your SIP. So that is what is periodical cash flow. That means it is happening recurring. It is not one time, it is recurring. Okay. So here we are not doing any recurring deposits or investment. Here it is one time. I am just investing once. So if that is being done, PMT will be 0. Later, after learning this PVTFE, then we will learn about PMT. Initially, we'll put PMT as 0 because there is no regular payment or cash flows that are happening here. Okay. Now PV is 1 lakh. So I will just give 1 lakh here. Okay. Now type. What is type is, they say end, beginning and all. Now it is not of any concern to us. You can give any number, 0 or 1, both you can give, any one. Okay. So I'll just put it as 0. Why I am telling it doesn't have a relevance now is because this 0 or 1, the type is having relevance only when you have a periodical cash flow. Now that PMT is 0, right? So this set, the type is also doesn't have any relevance there. Okay. Are you able to clearly understand this? Some of you are giving some message over there. Yes.
Voice broke. Voice was breaking.
Again.
on the
Ah,
payment and
okay. To do. It's posing a lot of problem. Yeah. Now I'll repeat what I said. Let's see whether others are able to hear. Otherwise, I'll just close it for today. I'll just set it right. I'll just ask them to set it right. Okay. Then we'll see.
test Zoom also once,
Yeah. Today
if
or
everybody
Wednesday?
agree. Today we can try now, actually, no problem. For example, I can create a Zoom link and share it with you to check it out.
Now it is clear. No, your voice is pakka and I am able to hear.
Yeah,
I
okay.
don't know.
Let's continue like this. Let's continue.
Yeah. We'll finish today's class and then
Yeah,
if you can spare some time. Okay.
yes,
Uh,
yes.
because right now it is clear. I don't know when it breaks. Whether the break is because of the Cisco system or my system.
Okay.
You're able to hear whether my voice is going down. That's what I was doubting. One second, I'll do one thing. I'll just connect the headset.
Okay, okay.
Hello. Now we'll just discuss. Let us see whether you're able to hear clearly. Okay, you can just let me know whether voice is breaking, whether it is clear, and all that. Okay. So I will repeat how to do the future value
Keep the mic
calculation.
little closer. The voice is feeble.
Okay. Now,
Yeah, it's good now.
okay. So when we do the calculation in Excel, because we are calculating future value, I have given equal to future value, and then I have put a bracket. I'll repeat the process. Okay, what I did, equal to future value, open the bracket. It is asking me to enter rate. Rate is either I can call it as return of income or return of investment, or I can call it as the interest rate. Here it is 8%. So I am entering 8% there, comma, n period is 5 years, 5, comma, and then it is asking me to enter PMT. What is PMT? PMT is payment, or these are all periodical cash flows. What do you mean by periodical cash flows is either you do a monthly investment or annual investment. Every year it is there, or you are withdrawing every year. So any kind of a cash flow which is happening on a regular basis, not one time, very regularly, if it is happening, that is called as payment. Okay. In this, I gave the example of SIPs or EMIs or anything which is happening on a very regular basis. Here in this, we have only one time investment, which is 1 lakh, right? There is no periodical investment, so it will be 0. Okay. Then I will have PV. PV is present value of my investment, which is 1 lakh. Here I would like to tell you one information. Every cash flow you should put the sign properly. Sign. What is sign is negative or positive. How do you specify an investment? An investment is something which is going out of your pocket. Correct? The money goes out of your pocket to the investment account. Even though the investment account also belongs to you, the money no longer stays with you, right? It has gone out of your pocket. So that's why we give it as minus sign whenever there is an investment. Whenever there is a withdrawal, redemption, okay, what happens in that case? The money comes back to you, correct? Suppose you redeem from your mutual fund, you get the money back in your hands, right? So there it will be a plus sign, okay? So in this case, your investment 1 lakh is minus, so minus 1 lakh, okay? Then it is asking me to enter type. What is type is, it is telling me 0 or 1. 0 is for end and 1 is for the beginning. End and begin doesn't have any relevance when we don't have a cash flow. We don't have a periodical cash flow. This particular type doesn't have a relevance. So what is, how do you understand that? You will be thinking future value is end, so I have to put it as end. It is not like that. Future value is end, the calculator knows. We need not give any information. Whereas only for payment we have to give whether end or begin. That I will explain after 1 or 2 classes when you come to the payment mode. Okay. So right now what I am explaining is, it is only from PV to FV. So PV to FV, this type doesn't have any relevance. You can try it out. You can put 0 and get the answer. I'll just put 0 now. Okay. Then it is giving me some answer. 146,932, right? Now I'll do one thing. I'll change it to 1. Now also it's giving me the same answer. So this type doesn't have any relevance when you don't enter anything in the PMT. When PMT is 0, if it doesn't have any inclusion in the calculation, then type also is silent. You can take anything, 0 or 1. Are you able to get this? Yeah.
Hello.
Yes. Yeah, ask me any doubt.
Ma'am, why you have taken here as a PV value as minus 1 lakh?
Because it is an investment, money is going out of your pocket. If it is a withdrawal, money comes back to you. Investment is minus. Suppose I gave it as plus. I'll do one thing. I'll remove minus sign here. Now what will happen is, answer comes as minus. Why answer is minus? Whenever you give a plus sign, the calculator assumes that the money comes to you from some other source. In the calculator or the Excel calculation, the function, it assumes that money comes from some other source to you. So it is taking that as plus. Whereas you have to give it back. Once you have received money from somewhere, that is like a loan. So you have to give it back at the end of the period. So out of PV and FV, one of them should be minus, the other one will be plus. So always think from the angle of the investor. If money goes out of his pocket, put it as minus. If money comes back to him, it will be plus. Okay. So in this case, in an investment, money is going out of his pocket. So I have given a minus sign here. Is it clear, Supriya?
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
Okay, great. So now this question of 1 lakh being invested for 5 years, you have got the answer as 146,932. This is the step by step process which we did in the timeline. When I explained to you the timeline, I was telling you first year it is accumulating 8%, second year the principal plus interest put together is growing for the second year, third year, like that up to 5 years. That is what is called as compound interest. If it is a simple interest, what will happen in case of simple interest? It will accumulate interest on 1 lakh only every year. So what will happen is 8% into 1 lakh into 5 years. This will be the interest that is accumulated. Correct? So you'll have 40,000 is interest. Money invested is 1 lakh. So the total in your account will be equal to 1 lakh plus 40,000. Okay. So this will be the future value in case of simple interest calculation. So there is a difference of almost 7,000 rupees, right? 6,932 rupees difference in case of simple and compound. That is the reason compounding factor is
Ma'am,
suppressed.
your voice is breaking.
Again, oh. So here, hello? Okay, we'll try Zoom only. I'll just stop the recorder.
Hello everyone. I don't know, this time it is posing a lot of issues every day. And now not even 1 hour, right? Yesterday at least it was okay. The voice started in the beginning itself. Voice problem. Shall we start with the Zoom? Hello?